I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 3 English lesson on personal pronouns. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts, grade 3, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of personal pronouns. All right, so our chapter is personal pronouns. The subject is English Language Arts, grade 3, and the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of personal pronouns. It's to identify pronouns, and to choose between subject and object pronouns, and to replace a noun with a pronoun. So that is going to be our lessons that we are going to be focusing on for today under our chapter of personal pronouns. All right, so now we're going to find out what a pronoun is, right? So a pronoun, it is a word. So a pronoun is a word that takes the place of either a noun or it takes the place of nouns, right? So say for example, we have someone's name, right? So let's say for example, Nadine, right? So instead of saying Nadine is going to teach us and Nadine is going to talk about personal pronouns, right? So we need to listen to Nadine. So instead of repeating my name all the time, we can then put a pronoun in the place of, let's say, for example, my name, right? So we can say that you can maybe just mention my name the very first time by saying Nadine is going to teach us a lesson. Then instead of saying Nadine again, you can say maybe she's going to talk about personal pronouns, right? So instead of then saying my name all the time, you can then say she. Instead of saying his name all the like the a male's name all the time, you can say he, right? So a pronoun, once again, it's a word that takes the place of either a noun or of nouns. Then we have singular pronouns. Right. So singular pronoun, remember singular means one, right? And a singular pronoun, it takes the place of a singular noun, which means that it takes the place of either one person, one place, or one thing. And that is a singular noun, one person, one place, or one thing. And the example that we made, I made an example of Nadine, for example, right? But here they're saying Leah liked the book. So Leah liked the book. So in this sentence, we have two nouns, right? We have the word Leah, which is a noun, and we have the book or book, which is a noun, right? So instead of examples mentioning Leah all the time, mentioning the book all the time, since we already know we are talking about Leah, we are talking about the book, we can then say she, which refers to Leah. She. So instead of saying Leah, we can say she liked. Instead of saying the book, we can say she liked it. right? So she, which is the personal pronoun, is in place of the noun, which is Leah, and it, which is the personal pronoun, is in, it's basically in line, or it's in favor, or it's basically taking its place of the noun, which is the book. And if we look at personal pronouns, right? If we look at the few common personal pronouns, specifically singular pronouns, right? Singular pronouns are words like I, you, he, she, it, me, him, and her. Those are personal pronouns, especially singular pronouns, right? So these are singular pronouns. So we are going to still find out about plural pronouns, but at the moment, this is singular pronouns. All right, so now we're going on. We're going now to plural pronouns, right? So now we're going to plural pronouns. And plural pronouns, firstly, plural refers to anything that is two or more, right? And if we're talking about pronouns, right, and then we are talking about either, let's say, plural nouns, right? Then we say we are talking about anything that is more than one place, more than one person, and more than one thing. So we are making mention of one place, one person, and one thing. And if we look at an example of a plural pronoun, right? Then we can say the kids liked the books, right? So before I continue, right, we said that plural pronouns, which refers to anything that is more than one. So plural pronouns, it takes the place of a plural noun or plural nouns, which is more than one person, more than one place, or more than one thing, right? So now we're saying the kids liked the books. The kids liked the books, right? So which means that the kids is our noun and the books is also our noun, right? But now we need to put a personal pronoun in place of, for example, those nouns, which is the kids as well as the books, right? So, for example, instead of saying the kids, right, the kids is more than one, right? So we can then say they. So instead of saying the kids, we can say they, right? So they liked, instead of saying the books, right? We can say they liked them. And them, it refers to the books. They refers to the kids that we are talking about. And that is basically an indication that it is plural pronouns, right? Which took the place of a plural noun, and it refers to anything that is more than one person, one place, or one thing, or more than one thing. And if we look at the most common plural pronouns, the most common plural pronouns are words like we, you, they, us, and them. Those are our most common plural pronouns, right? All right, and we are going to be doing our tutorial lesson on aplusstudents.ca. All right, so let us go to our tutorial lesson, which is aplusstudents.ca. All right, so we say that chapter is personal pronouns. And the first lesson that we are going to be focusing on is to identify pronouns. All right. Okay, it's not giving us the description or the explanation. But once again, if we want to identify pronouns, then it means that we need to identify pronouns according to if it's a singular pronoun or if it's a plural pronoun, right? And we said plural pronouns takes the place of let's say a plural noun, and it refers to something that is more than one person, more than one place, or more than one thing, right? So that is plural. It is anything that is more than one, right? Person, place, or thing. And then we have a singular pronoun, right? And a singular pronoun, right? It takes the place of a singular noun. It takes the place of a singular noun, and it basically indicates that there's one person, one place, or one thing, right? And our personal pronouns, if we were to look at our personal pronouns, specifically singular, then we can make mention of words like I, me, he, she, right? If you want to make mention of plural pronouns, then it can be words like they or them, right? Or us. That is but a few examples of the personal pronouns, which is both plural as well as singular. All right. Okay, so if we look at the sentence over here, they're saying we need to select the pronoun. And if we select the pronoun, right, it says, finally, Edward told us the truth. Finally, Edward told us the truth. What is the personal pronoun, or what is the pronoun within this sentence? We need to identify the pronoun in this sentence. We need to identify the pronoun within that sentence. Finally, Edward told us the truth. What do you think is the personal pronoun within that sentence? It says, finally, Edward told us the truth. All right. If we were to identify the personal pronoun or the pronoun within the sentence, then it would be us. So finally, Edward told us the truth. So us refers to more than one person. So instead of, so the pronoun is us, but if we were to maybe put the noun within that sentence, then maybe it would have been finally Edward told um, Emmanuel and Xavier the truth, right? So instead of saying finally Edward told Emmanuel and Xavier the truth, he says finally Edward told us the truth. So us refers to, for example, Emmanuel and Xavier, right? So us is our pronoun within that sentence. All right, the next one says, does he enjoy playing basketball? So does he enjoy playing basketball? We need to select the pronoun within that sentence. What do you think is the pronoun? Is it does? Is it he? Is it enjoy? Is it playing? Or is it basketball? We need to identify the pronoun within that sentence. All right, so if we were to select the pronoun within that sentence, and then we can say, he is our pronoun, right? Because he can refer to basically any boy, right? Or any male or any man, right? So does he enjoy playing basketball? So if we were to put a name, which is a noun, to that pronoun, then it could have maybe been, does John like to play basketball? Or does Jake like to play basketball, for example, right? But instead of saying the name of the person, which is the noun, the pronoun, it takes the place of the noun. So instead of saying the person's actual name, we give the pronoun, which is he. So does he enjoy playing basketball? So he is our pronoun. All right. And the next one says, after an hour, they left. So after an hour, they left. We need to we need to select the pronoun within that sentence. After an hour, they left. What do you think is the pronoun within that sentence? So we need to select our pronoun. And before I even continue, do all of us understand what a pronoun is? Before I continue, do I need to explain again what a pronoun is because everybody's very quiet? Do you know what a personal pronoun is? Do you know what pronouns are? All right, no problem. I will explain again. Right, so let me go back to, so I'm going to go back to the whiteboard, right, because that is where I've made my notes. Okay, no problem. Okay, so a personal pronoun, right? So firstly, a noun. Remember, a noun is a naming word, right? It names people. Nouns, they name places. they name things, they name animals, right? Those are nouns. But now, so a noun can be words like books and names of people, names of places, right? Those are basically nouns. But now a pronoun, right? A pronoun, it is a word that takes a place or takes the place of either a noun or that takes the place of nouns, right? So a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun or it takes the place of nouns. So for example, if your name is Jake, right? So if your name is Jake, let's make an example. So Jake. So, or let's say Jack. So if we say Jack went to the shop, right? So now we're saying Jack went to the shop. Jack is our noun, right? This is our noun. Now, a pronoun, right? It's basically a word that replaces the name Jack. So instead of saying Jack, we can then say he went to the shop. So basically, a pronoun replaces the noun, right? It replaces the name, for example. It replaces the name of the um of the place. It replaces the name of the animal, for example, right? So we mention things like he, or we mention things like she, or we mention things like you, or I, or it, or me, or him, or her. Those are all personal pronouns. So instead of saying the person's name all the time, we can say either he, or if we're referring to a girl or female, we can say she. If we're referring to a book or we're referring to an animal, we can say things like it, right? So a pronoun, it's a word that takes the place of a noun or it takes the place of nouns. That is a pronoun. Then we have singular pronouns and we have plural pronouns. Singular pronouns refers to one person, one place, or one thing, right? Because remember, a pronoun is basically, it takes the place of a noun. So it refers to one person, one place, or one thing. And we said that words, pronouns, personal pronouns, right, are words such as I, you, he, she, it, me, him, her. Those are examples of singular pronouns. So that takes the place of nouns, right? Then we have plural pronouns, right? Which takes the place of plural nouns. And plural pronouns are anything that is more than one person, more than one place, or more than one thing, right? Those are plural pronouns. Anything it's more than, right? And an example is, for example, if you were to, let's say you guys are a group of friends, right? Like three group of friends. So instead of saying all of the names that is, that I am talking to or referring to as friends, you can maybe just say a we, right? So instead of saying, I'm just gonna give an example. PK, Xavier, Emmanuel, and me, right? So instead of saying mentioning all four of your names, you can say, we are going to the beach, right? Because now we are replacing the names such as PK, Xavier, Emmanuel, and me, for example, right? So we're replacing it by putting a pronoun there, and the pronouns are words such as we or you, they, us, or even them, right? Is that more of a clarity of what a personal pronoun is or what a pronoun is? Remember, we said a pronoun takes the place of either a noun or it takes the place of nouns. Is that better? Is that a better explanation, or should I explain again? So before we continue, all right. So now we're going back to A plus students.ca, and we are going to go to our test where we identify nouns. Yes, so Jack is a boy, right? So if Jack is a boy, then what would you refer to Jack as? Do you refer to Jack as she, or would you refer to Jack as him or he? Yes, lovely. So you're either going to say him or you're going to say he, right? Lovely, beautiful. That is correct. So if Jack is a boy, so instead of saying Jack is a boy, we can say he is a boy, right? Because now we are putting the word he in place of the word Jack. We are replacing the name Jack and we are putting the pronoun, which is either he or him. So well done. That is correct. All right, so now we're going to select the pronoun. It says the firefighter will rescue him. We need to say what the pronoun is. Is the pronoun him or is the pronoun will? The firefighter will rescue him. We need to select the pronoun. Is it him or is it will? All right. All right. And if we select the pronoun, then definitely him is correct. So well done. Him is correct because him is the pronoun. So beautiful. Well done. Roger carried the load for her. Roger carried the load for her. We need to select the pronoun within that sentence. Roger carried the load for her. Is it her or is it for? We need to select the pronoun. Is it her or is it for? So we need to select the pronoun. Roger carried the load for her. What is the pronoun within that sentence? Her, or is it for? All right, so if we select the correct answer, then we will say her. Like PK says, her. Her is correct. So her is our pronoun which we have identified. So well done. Shauna played the fiddle with us. So Shauna played the fiddle with us. What is the pronoun within that sentence? So Shauna played the fiddle with us. So is it us or is it for? Us or for? So Shauna played the fiddle for us. And if we were to select the correct answer, or let's say the pronoun, then it would be us, right? Us refers to myself and refers to maybe two others or one other, right? So that is us, which is our pronoun. The crowd parted for them, or parted for them. The crowd parted for them. So we need to select the pronoun. Is it them or is it for? The crowd parted for them. So the crowd parted for them. So is it them, which is our pronoun, or for, which is our pronoun? All right, then if we were to select the pronoun or identify the pronoun, then we would say the crowd parted for them. So them being, them is correct. Because them refers to, let's say, a group of people standing, let's say on that side. It's them. It's not us, it's them. After an hour, they left. So after an hour, they left. So after an hour, they left. We need to select the pronoun within the sentence. Is it they or is it left? After an hour, they left. Is it they or is it left? All right, then if we select the pronoun, then we can say they is our pronoun. All right, so now we're going to choose between a subject pronoun as well as an object pronoun, and we are going to see what is the differences between a subject pronoun as well as an object pronoun. It says, we always listen to, right? Let me just quickly see the explanation before we continue. All right, no problem. Okay, so we have a subject pronoun and we have an object pronoun, right? So we're going to find out what is the difference between a subject pronoun as well as an object pronoun, right? Because now it is not giving me that option. So if we look at a subject pronoun, right? A subject pronoun, it is a word that is used in the place of a noun and it basically performs the action within the sentence. So it shows the action within the sentence. So when it comes to a subject noun, right? A subject noun or subject pronoun, right? We usually find at the beginning of the sentence, or we'll find it before the verb. All right. So then we also have object pronouns, right? And usually object pronouns comes after the verb, right? So we said an object pronoun, right? It is basically an object of the verb or preposition. That means that it basically tells us about the person, it tells us about people, tells us about the place or places, right? And that usually comes after the verb. All right, and if we look at this sentence over here, it says we need to select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. It says the little puppy barks at. Does the little puppy bark at him? Does the little puppy bark at them? At it? And runs away. So the little puppy barks at and runs away. All right, so we can say that the little puppy barks at him, which means that him, whoever him is the problem. So him. So the little puppy barks at him. 7. All right, let's go down. Now we're going to select the correct pronoun to complete the sentences. Select the best pronoun to complete the sentences. It says, did the basketball coach choose more than one person? So, did the basketball coach choose more than one person? So, did the basketball coach choose us, right? So, us can refer to myself and two others, or myself and another person, right? So, instead of saying our names, we can just say, did the basketball coach choose us? All right. And before we end our lesson, let us quickly go to a test. Do like 2 or 3 questions, and then we are going to end our lesson, right? We need to select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. Do we say they nap every afternoon or them nap every afternoon? We need to choose the correct pronoun. Do we say they nap every afternoon or them nap every afternoon? All right, so do we say they nap every afternoon or them nap every afternoon? Which one do you think is correct? They or them? All right, then if we select the correct one, we can say they take a nap every afternoon. All right, let's do one more and then we're done with the lesson. We will not disturb her, or do we say we will not disturb she? Which one do you think is the correct pronoun to complete the sentence? We will not disturb her, or we will not disturb she? All right, so we can say we will not disturb her. We cannot say we will not disturb she, because that word is incorrect within that sentence or within the context of that sentence. Right? So her is correct. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson or our chapter on personal pronouns. We went over identifying pronouns as well as to choose between subject and object pronoun. All right, so that's now the end of our lesson. Grade threes, thank you very much for joining. You were very quiet today, but it's okay, right? So you should have a good day further. Goodbye.